massive violations of human rights and the loss of life, 37% of the territory under military occupation, 1/3 of the population refugees in their own country, 70% of the economic resources lost. But we survived. Our people found the strength to rebuild their shattered lives, to face the challenge and to overcome what was a national tragedy within a few years after the calamity. In 2004, another monumental event, positive this time, was inscribed into the history of the Republic. Cyprus, indeed its entire territory, including the Turkish occupied areas, became a full and equal partner in the European Union. Since then, we have been witnessing many changes in the state and in our society, the most significant one being the admission to the Economic and Monetary Union and the adoption of the euro as our national currency in 2008. But in my view, the most important consequence of the accession to the EU is that now the solution to the occupation problem should be in conformity not only with international law and the relevant Security Council resolutions, but also, and most importantly, with the European acquis and the principles upon which the EU was founded, as very correctly Peter mentioned just before me. This means a democratic system of government, full respect of the human rights of all citizens. It also means a viable, lasting and functional state within the European Union. Furthermore, and this is very important for our Turkish Cypriot compatriots to understand, the European acquis provides the best and most credible and efficient guarantee for their security, their political, their cultural and their religious rights, while at the same time it eases the concerns of the Greek Cypriots with regard to the proposed Turkish guarantees. I'm not going to refer to the current renewed efforts of the President of the Republic to achieve a principled and agreed solution on the future of the island in the negotiations with the leader of the Turkish Cypriot community. Mr. Stephanou was more authoritatively enlightening on that yesterday. What I would like to say in conclusion is that we do stand ready to face the challenges of the future in a reunified Cyprus and in interaction and in cooperation with the Turkish Cypriots, sharing together with them the benefits and the responsibilities from our membership in the European Union and the world community. In doing so, we ask our friends and compatriots in the United Kingdom to join us as we try to achieve the objective which many generations of Cypriots have dreamt of before us. Thank you.
Thank you, High Commissioner, for this most illuminating overview. I'm very pleased to see you here, and I hope it's not just the first visit. Many more will.
It's already there, the second.
I always admire our High Commissioner's ability to promote Cyprus. I have been able to witness a few activities, cultural, political, elsewhere, and it's really nice to have him here. Now I go to our next speaker, which is going to be talk very precisely, because he has traveled from Cyprus, especially to give his presentation last night. I know he's extremely busy, but if you kindly give us a couple of bullet points of what you said last night. Mr. Stephanou, the Cyprus government spokesman.
Thank you very much. Firstly, let me say how happy I am to be here with you today at this conference. I thank and I congratulate the organizers for the initiative to organize events centered around Cyprus. It is not, to my mind, an exaggeration to say that through such initiatives, Cyprus is highlighted and attention is drawn to it, not merely as a place with a long-standing political problem. Fortunately, Cyprus is known as the country with a huge political problem. This is true. But we like to know and learn for Cyprus about other issues and the achievements of the work of the people of Cyprus. So, the long-standing political problem, which of course is also significant and has positive effects, but also as a contemporary and forward-looking state with much to offer as an active member of the European Union and of the international community. Through your work, Cyprus, its successes, interests, concerns, and also its long-standing political problem are brought to the attention of a wider public in this great metropolis of London. This has many positive repercussions for our small but dynamic and forward-looking country. First and foremost, it helps people understand that Cyprus is not just a case study in a political handbook. It is, despite its political problem, a very good place to live and work, a great place to do business, and democratic, stable, economically flourishing state, despite the unavoidable effects of the global financial crisis, a full and equal member of the EU, to which it has much to offer, as the most distant point in the Union, in those proximity to the Middle East, with every state of which it maintains excellent relations. Probably we are the unique case in the European Union as a country that has excellent relations with Israel and with the Arab world. The Israelis know very well that Cyprus supports the goals and the struggle of the Palestinian people, and they understand that this is the stable position of the Cyprus Republic, as well as the Arab world and the Palestinians know about the excellent relations that Cyprus Republic maintains with Israel. Cyprus has the capacity to act as a bridge between the European Union and the Middle East, and when Cyprus' problem is solved, which is a target we are working towards with all our mind and hope it will sooner rather than later, then Cyprus undoubtedly come into its own as a bridge of peace and prosperity in the region. Conferences in general are a positive and constructive approach towards ensuring that the world of knowledge of political and social thinkers and analysts can contribute to the democratic and just resolution of political and social problems. We wish and believe that the Cyprus problem will be a beneficiary of this process, and that is one of the reasons why I try always to respond positively to invitations to participate in such conferences and exchange opinions and ideas with other people who believe in the positive contribution of this practice. And I would like to underline the participation of Turkish Cypriot compatriots here. It's very important for us Greek Cypriots to hear and to try to understand their concerns on the Cyprus issue, the way of approach the problem, as it is very important for the Turkish Cypriots to know how the Greek Cypriots understand the concerns of their own and of the Turkish Cypriots as well. I wish you every success in your endeavors today, and I hope and trust that the discussion that will involve here and the conclusions you draw from today's deliberations will be beneficial for Cyprus and for all of us who work and struggle for a unified island, for a unified country, for a common homeland of the Greek Cypriots and the Turkish Cypriots. Thank you very much for your invitation.
Thank you, Mr. Stephanou, and good luck to you and to the government for the efforts they make to unite Cyprus. And also, I want to stress this point. You have always been lucky at this centre, and perhaps in the whole of London, that Turkish and Greek Cypriots have the opportunity to meet. And through that, a lot of the problems disappear. If you talk to somebody, you resolve problems. If you don't talk, in Cyprus, unfortunately, there is pressure which opposes any communication of reason. Progress is not made. But here, We express opinion, we might have differences, but by talking we reduce the differences and create a very workable atmosphere. Before I conclude this session, I'd just like you to note that in your handout there is a message from two Cypriots who worked very hard together, the mayors of Nicosia, who we were hoping that they would join us. Unfortunately, they couldn't, but they sent us a message and a cartoon, which illustrates the problem they faced in trying to communicate in Nicosia.